Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Patreon show where Papa Joe knows. I'm your host, Papa Joe, and I am joined with Sharon. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been kind of a crazy time for us both.
Yes, I have dealt with, well, we were sick for literally a month and Christmas and New Year's, and then there was other stuff with work coming into the New Year's that has been, um, I, I was up 48 hours straight at one point because of some
Oh
stuff
gosh.
breaking. Yeah, not good. And there's been residual problems ever since from that. So yeah, that's where I've been, which is why this hasn't happened. So here we are. Sorry, y'all. It is what it is. We're trying to get back into it now. So glad to be back. It's just been a pain in the butt. Sorry, but it's part of life, right, guys?
Yeah.
So yeah, how have you been? What have you been up to? What's been going on in your world?
Oh, well, like you, I've had stuff going on. And so everything kind of fell apart for the both of us. So it's really nice to be back again.
Yeah, it's nice for some sense of normalcy with
Mhm.
certain things.
Yeah.
And I was even saying today, like I did my regular routine stuff,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, nothing broke. Great,
Yay.
good to go. So, but
Mhm.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, we're gonna jump into some fun stuff. Obviously, we have things to catch up on. There's some things, for what it's worth, y'all. We're gonna cover some things. I haven't read any of it. We're gonna squirrel. We're gonna have fun with it, as we usually do. But it is gonna be very, very interesting, I think, for some of these things, and it might upset and ruffle some feathers for some of the stuff we're gonna cover. The reason being is because if these guys are legit and if they are in fact doing the things they're doing, which I really think they are, everything would lend to being that other shoe to drop kind of thing. There needs to be some sort of what just in the premise of what we initially discussed a minute ago,
Mhm.
needs to be some sort of premise to get into and get out of certain things. And this is not financial advice. Y'all read this information, you do your own research. We're looking, excuse me, we're looking at the same things you are,
Mhm.
wondering and trying to figure out the same things you are. So we will kind of go from there. So yeah, is there anything you wanted to do other than that first, we'll call it decree, the other document that dropped on Christmas Day?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to add that, y'all, we are bouncing theories and hypotheses off of each other here and putting it out for you because some of this stuff is, yeah, very fascinating. But
Cool.
yeah, let's start with the decree that was dropped on Christmas Day.
All right. So if you've been following along and maybe you saw it, our special friend definitely saw it and alerted us, hey, it happened, which, by the way, thank you again. I think we have the same litany here. Yes, nothing's new. I don't think there.
The only thing is that they're really going into the bank accounts, that it's distributed in various banks in all countries all over the world. So,
Right. And I have there's been a lot of holdup in banking in general, just in
mhm,
any kind of money movement at all. Um, anything that's a regular ACH paycheck, blah blah blah, but international type stuff, like they're not playing around right now.
mm-mm,
If you're at any larger amount of money, it is like under major scrutiny. Major scrutiny. The banks have no bloodline or blood flow, whatever, water flow in the blood
mhm,
veins or whatever.
mhm.
So they're not able to do anything. So any money they get, they hold it. They stop it, and it's corrupt, disgusting as it always has been. But anyhow, I digress. It's the same litany
Well,
here. Yes.
yes, but the thing is, to fill in more of what you're saying, we went over that in the earlier decrees and resolutions where they basically had said, we are cutting you all off. And much like in resolution number 4, which lists all of the boxes, which are actually bonds, because some people are like, oh my gosh, the bond market. Well, read resolution number 4 and start researching those boxes.
Which is, like she said, a bond.
Hmm.
I don't know at one point why they were called that, but I still don't know the
Because,
history behind
oh,
that.
I did, because I found something. I don't know if I can find it again. Some of these are so old because they are based on people. They actually are in a sacred box. They're like in this box that has like gold
Okay.
around it and everything, and like those bonds that were taken out on the people were in a box.
Interesting. All right.
So that
Well,
I come across, and I should have done.
that's kind of cool.
I can't find it again. So that was like, where did that go?
I guess if you guys want to go dig into that, you can, and let us know. Throw it in the chat here, and maybe we can go do a little dig on that as well. I know some people had requests for certain things and have been trying to get access or get us to cover certain things, but we're going to cover this for now.
Mhm.
Let's get caught up, and then we'll maybe touch on the other stuff that has
Right.
been requested. But yeah,
Mhm.
so same litany here.
Yep.
Right off the bat, y'all bear with me. I am having my computer is saying I don't like you right now. So,
Mhm.
anyways, go for it.
All right. We hereby confirm all previous legal and sublegal sovereign international acts of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, namely decrees, resolutions, and orders, and all other legal and subordinate sovereign international acts of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One. In pursuance of the right of the sovereign, the norms of international law, in pursuance of resolutions, and they go through which resolutions. I recommend you go back and read those.
Yes, you need to really understand what they're referencing here.
And all other legislative and subordinate sovereign international acts of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One. By God's grace, by right of the Supreme Sovereign, in fulfillment of the sacred mission to overcome the world financial crisis, prevent a third world nuclear war, eliminate the destructive, toxic, and dysfunctional debt fiat financial system, and in fulfillment of the creator of a bright world financial system based on heavenly principles and the gold standard, namely the sacred spiritual gold treasure, Ra, Mo, Money One, which is XAU, which is bank gold. It's gold.
Yep.
For serving light humanity in its development and prosperity according to the divine law of creation and creation of a light creative world based on the heavenly principles of democracy, justice, love, and harmony for the creative, spiritual, and divine development of light humanity in universal love and harmony with all that is and with all that is for the glory of the highest kind.
And there
by
we go.
the right of the supreme sovereign, by the right of the absolute owner and chief regulator of the entire world financial system, by the right of the absolute owner and manager of all world assets in the entire world on the basis of the exclusive historical right from the creator of the new era. In connection with the transition to the gold standard according to the transitional model, I think
I think
that's a
that's a C.
C.
Yeah.
Standard Basel
Standard.
III. And the issue of gold, world reserve, security currencies, MOM1, which is monetary one, which is the original money, monetary one, XAU, and the GDL, which is the original monetary one gold, GSR.
Yep.
Gold standard, as well as issue of gold cryptocurrency. So y'all now pay close attention to what we're going to continue here.
Yep.
Crypto XAU, backed
Crypto
by
gold.
the World Reserve, backing currency MOM1.
So just to throw this out there, y'all, this is something I was mentioning before my other show got shut down. And I think it's why it got shut down, because I kept saying is like we're gonna hit it with an asset-backed digital currency. Remember BRICS? I talked about this. That's starting to take place. This is probably that they're already gonna be using this stuff. I don't like I said it before, Putin isn't a bad dude. He's just doing his job in this, just like Trump's doing his job in this. They're clearing all the poison out, all the bad out, and they're probably going to launch this. Remember, Trump has always been against Bitcoin. He's always been against the cryptocurrencies in general. He has been against it mainly because it isn't backed by gold. He's not against a gold-backed cryptocurrency. An asset-backed digital currency
Mhm.
makes sense,
Yes.
especially today, right? So from my perspective, Bitcoin, I feel like, is a bridge from the fiat currency into whatever this is going to be, if they allow it. We'll see. We'll see, because they do call out Bitcoin here in a second.
Mhm.
And you'd be surprised at what they're going to say.
Mhm. So we hereby proclaim the right. We hereby decide and we hereby approve. So this is the first time we see this kind of languaging showing up, that they
Yep.
proclaim the right, they decide, and they approve. 1, deprive legal subjectivity. Notice, deprive legal subjectivity. They're taking it away. Recognize outside the divine law of creation and outside the law, land, air, water, and completely ban all types of fiat currencies. Because remember, fiat is by decree. So whatever they decree that currency to be worth is what it is. It's air, okay? Nothing. As well as all types of fiat cryptocurrencies. Now, this is important because they're saying fiat cryptocurrencies.
And then they
Okay.
specifically lists them here.
Bitcoin, USDT, and others. Any digital and other types of fiat means of payment in the entire world forever, with the exception of any types of currencies backed by world reserve backing currencies, which is the original monetary one, banking gold. Okay.
So real quick, I wonder, this is just a theory. I wonder if because Bitcoin in particular has no bridge to this new currency, that
Mhm.
that's not allowed because it's only tradable between fiat and other cryptos.
Right.
And I wonder if a bridge is allowed for this to absorb that. I wonder if that's going to take place or not. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, but they're not liking what's there. And I think it's not that necessarily the technology. Like I've mentioned before, the blockchain makes sense. Obviously, they want to use it. But what's there, does that make sense as it is today? What we have today, it's always been like the start, right? This is the start. And I think, again, as I said before, I personally, just this is me off the cuff, first time hearing this, reading this, going, if they're going to ban it because it ties to fiat, fine, cool. Give me a way out of it into this other stuff.
Well,
That I think needs to happen. And if any of them are listening, reach out and let's talk. Anyways,
I
go ahead.
think that's what is going to happen, because if you notice in all of these that we've been covering over this span of time that we have, it's like they're building up, because what if the cryptos were just another form of the game of the debt-based system? Because it really, there's still nothing backing it, and people are saying, oh, the code is backing it. Okay, the code, but there's still
Well, it's the
nothing
people.
backing it.
There's not a physical, no, there's not a physical, but the people are behind it. So if they want to
Okay.
argue that part, so this is something, again, an educational thing. Having done the actual mining, having actually done the staking, having actually done the tech side of it, um, there is a specific point where there's actually energy being stored in this.
Mhm.
Like you're storing energy for future use down the road, and that future use has to flip into a fiat right now. But if that future use can flip into this gold back, that's an entirely different subject, an entirely different discussion. And you got to realize that everyone's like, there's nothing back in it. I'm like, actually, there is. It's an entire network of people. It's
Right.
me, you,
Now,
anyone else is
okay,
doing it. It's people.
I'm gonna squirrel off here because Sabrina
You go
Wallace
ahead and
mentioned
do
to
that,
me,
and I'm going to mute, and I got to check something. Keep going.
she was right. I actually bought, as she called this, the Hogwarts Grimoire. So when she talks about it being backed by people, they jacked into you and they're using your energy. And these books, this is a 2-book set. All right. So there's the thicker one, and now we have the thinner one. And she goes into what these books are about, and I've just started digging into them because they are human interaction, emerging technologies, and future systems. Proceedings of the 5th International Virtual Conference on Human Interaction and Emerging Technologies, which is the transhumanism. Okay. And believe it or not, this gets into some of the, I don't know, anybody, if y'all ever tuned into the sci-fi series Fringe, there's some transgenics stuff going on.
Yeah,
Okay?
you can thank the whole Fauci ouchies for what's coming down the pipe.
Now, if you pay attention, the reason why they use bats, I was like, that was a crazy rabbit hole. And I was like, okay, I'm not ready to go down that one. It's the immune system in bats because they can carry all kinds of crazy diseases and it doesn't bug them because their immune systems are so different.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I have known that about them for a long time. They're weird creatures, man. They're something else.
Well, now they start using that with transgenics. That's why all this stuff, and because we'll get ourselves nuked again.
Well, I've started streaming these on X, and they've stayed up.
All right, so we're good. I'm going to probably go for it. So the reason that they're doing all this kind of crazy stuff is like with everything, and I'm just telling y'all, just tune in to the sci-fi series Fringe and listen very closely. That's all I'm going to say. So we're going to get back into this. So again, what I was saying, yes, we are. And Sabrina over on Synergy on her channel talks about how we are jacked in and they are siphoning things off of us.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I'm more talking literal. So I don't know how much I should divulge because I actually kind of still want to do it. We'll see. You can quite literally strap a mind to it's doing it again. I have no idea.
It has to be on your end because you're got the whole hosting.
Like if I do this thing or whatever. Yep, look,
there it goes.
Okay. Apparently there are hand motions.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Anyway.
Brain fart. Okay. You can literally take energy from power plants that would never otherwise be monetized and utilize it to mine Bitcoin. If you did that, you're taking that energy that would never be utilized or paid for, that would just be burned, never just off in the atmosphere, and you're turning it into Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. That's storing that energy for future use of some kind. I would love for these guys to talk to someone like me around this and get a bridge over to these new gold-backed currencies. If they're ever listening,
well, do you speak Russian?
At least, no, I don't speak Russian. But they can speak, or we can get a translator or something like that. I mean, we can figure this out.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I digress.
So let's get back to
I was going to say, the only thing I would say is that that Bitcoin is backed by people mining, utilizing devices, not their own selves. They're utilizing a device that's working on their behalf. So it is the output of a device rather than a human. Granted, a human had to build the device, but at the end of the day, that device runs significantly longer than a human would have taken to build it. And even still, it's not really a human putting it together. It is robots now. So they have assembly lines, et cetera, just so much like a car. But I'll digress again. Go ahead.
All right. Well, let's get back into this since we both squirreled off and God knows how many directions there for everybody.
Yeah. I'll
So,
get in the weeds, y'all. You know it.
oh my goodness, we both do. All right, so we have two. Based on the fact of criminal activity of ignoring and noncompliance with the divine law of creation, the supreme sovereign legal acts of the sovereign international treasury, monetary one, and other norms of international financial law deprive legal subjectivity and recognize outside the divine law of creation and outside the law, land, air, water, deprive and prohibit any viability of all types of insurance organizations. Now, this is going to be a big one.
I have been having conversations with people recently about insurance, and I have a way for people to basically self-insure through crypto funds, but building it themselves as their own. But now it's going to be shut down with this. Go ahead.
Well, let's face it. I don't know.
I was
Okay,
trying to
we're
free
gonna
people.
squirrel. Yeah, because
I'm trying to
insurance.
free people from this stuff, but I'm looking at the organizations. Like my
Mhm,
mind is freedom, freedom, freedom. Like Bitcoin is freedom out of their system if it's utilized as its own currency.
mhm,
But if it has to go back into fiat, there's not.
mhm.
It's no. So I get that, but like I really squirrely here. Keep
Oh,
going.
well, the thing
I'll
is,
stop.
I don't know about you, but to me, insurance companies is nothing more than legalized racketeering.
It is 100% legalized
It's like,
racketeering. I've
okay,
always said
so
that.
yeah, and so this, I'm kind of like, absolutely. So any visibility of all types of insurance organizations, all types of insurance funds, all types of insurance enterprises in the entire world. Okay, y'all, this one, this is going to take some time for this one. All assets that are so-called property on the balance sheet and beyond the balance sheet of all insurance organizations, insurance
Huh.
funds, insurance enterprises, insurance companies are subject to immediate confiscation and crediting to the balance sheet of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One for further distribution for the purposes of the development of prosperity of bright humanity.
This is going to be interesting when these guys go live with whatever, however this ends up looking. I mean, this is going to be really, really interesting. Like, they're going to strip all this, everything's going to just be
They
stripped away.
already did.
I understand, but
But
it
because they
hasn't
have a video on
physically.
YouTube that they talked about it. The World Bank is bye-bye. They
But their
actually,
World Bank, no?
the World Bank, they actually shifted it. They talked about it. It's granted, you got to really watch it because it's in Russian or Slavic. Yeah,
Is this
Russian.
the one that you sent to me that I translated? Or is there another one?
I put it into, I think, for our with our special friend. I said, y'all need the, it's over an hour long
That's
that
fine.
they
I can get it to. I can get the thing to translate the whole thing, and I can read it. But I need get with me after the show. I want to see that. I want to go translate it and read it because
right.
that's just significantly easier than listening to it.
It is, it is. I just didn't have a chance and I was just like had it in the going, I was kind of like watching, like, oh my gosh. And they said, no, the World Bank, as you know, it is no longer, and that they were working on some things. Excuse me. So
Fantastic.
yeah. So when we look at for them to seize the balance sheets of the insurance companies, this is ginormous.
So that's land, everything that is an
Land, air,
asset or
water, boom,
everything.
everything,
That's
everything.
insane, guys. So number 3.
In connection with the failure to comply with the divine law of creation and the continuation of criminal anti-human activities. Now, this is important because that's why I brought up my little thing with the transgenics, because in this book, they talk about humanoids. Humanoids.
Well, I have no doubt. I mean, think about what happened in Miami. Those
Mm.
those were definitely demonic coming up because they're lost there, in my opinion, because they lost their food source.
It was creepy.
Well, we don't battle against power. We battle against powers and principalities, but when they take physical form,
Mhm.
Anyhow, continue.
Okay, so
Some
it's
of
gonna
that
be.
stuff is like,
Oh, I know.
whoa.
We've got so much stuff because we haven't been able to do this for a while. So we're both like,
Nope.
let's go.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, number 3. Types of so in connection with the failure to comply with the divine law of creation and the continuation of criminal anti-human activities in the form of the organization and implementation of the genocide of light humanity, wars, and all other types of military occupations and military companies, in pursuance of the divine law of creation, impose a complete and absolute ban on any types of commodity and barter transactions, exchanges, with the exception of those of contracts and transactions that are carried out by the method of prepayment, letter of credit, and payment using in the form of payment only secured reserve currencies, traditional model, Basel III standard, as well as using the world reserve backing currencies, which is the original monetary one, banking gold, and backed currencies by M1 gold standard, XAU. In order to restore justice, the heavenly principles of democracy and fair socioeconomic equality of all clans and tribes throughout the world, I order to completely block and prohibit any legal capacity of all subjects of public law, such as countries, corporations, and others whose negative balance exceeded GDP, such subjects of public law, countries, corporations, and others, according to the law of creation and in pursuance of the law of creation, are subject to full regulation and reorganization and recovery by the sovereign international treasury monetary one. So, in other words, you're running at a deficit. We're going to come in, take you over, and we're going to actually right the ship.
Which, as we have been watching people, even like Elon Musk, point out the US debt clock, and we've showed you guys many times, if you're keeping up with it, it's basically telling a story almost leading into this. This is what it feels like. I mean, it could be wrong, but like that's kind of what I think. At least that's what it feels like. I don't know.
Well, from what
I haven't been able to keep with all of it. Just
our
dealing with
special
sick
friend
kids
and
right
I
now.
have been kind of doing that, so we're kind of
Yeah.
like, they're really amping it up, and we'll go over some debt clock stuff.
Yeah.
In execution of this decree, in all international and state counterterrorism legal law enforcement organizations, all military organizations of the Army of the World, all valid orders, all masters of the world systems, all masters of the world financial systems, all international and state control organizations, all missionaries performing the sacred mission before united, all God, all creator, all maker, giver of light and knowledge to the world, all world spaces, Yahweh, Nave, Slave, and Prave.
If my computer would work. Sorry, y'all. It is painful. Like I scroll and it's like glitch. I wonder if their website's being hit. That's what it feels like. Go ahead.
In pursuance of the all light, all heavenly, all divine providence, all great divine righteousness, all great cosmic forces, this is important, all great cosmic forces, all divine armadas, all divine fleets, as well as the great fleet of Ra, immediately begin to implement this decree in terms of its full implementation.
Where are these people? Like where are they?
Actually, in that video that I
Great
sent,
Fleet?
I don't know, the divine fleets, all divine armadas, all great cosmic forces.
Where are they?
I think it's probably great interdimensional.
I posted something to you and our special friend to watch something. You know how they have to tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that whole thing. Like, we'll talk about that after the show because that that I watched, I was like, oh, wow. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Mhm. To all bright humanity and all international subjects of law, organized on the basis of the celestial principles of democracy and observing the celestial principles of democracy. So remember, it's organized on the basis of the celestial principles of democracy and observing the celestial principles of democracy. We got two different things going on here.
Yep.
Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One strongly recommends to conduct a self-organization procedure in their country in order to manifest the supreme people's power of the sovereign and return the sovereign status of their motherland for a light, peaceful, and creative development in universal law and friendship throughout the world. The Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One recommends a competent and light approach to the issue of self-organization at the system level. The Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One wishes all countries, all clans, and tribes, all nations of the world, of all bright humanity, the speedy restoration of their bright home under the sovereign flag and the sacred name, motherland, in the universal creative construction of our bright world as the universal native temple. Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One firmly confirms its statement and in the future to impartially and correctly fulfill its light mission to restore justice and build the all light, all heavenly system which should and will faithfully serve the bright humanity and consequently all God, all creator, all creative family of the supreme as the one all heavenly, all to God, all to the creator, all creative of all existing and all non-existent in the creation of all light, all great, all heavenly.
And then you have their signature
All their
pages,
seals.
all their seals. So that's the decree. It's a lot to digest, but it's also a lot to understand. Hey, we don't like Bitcoin. We don't like USDT because it ties to fiat. Okay, guys, if you don't like that, please talk to me and give those who are in Bitcoin to get out of the fiat system a way to get into your gold backed currency, which I really hope they do, because a lot of people got into Bitcoin to get out of fiat currency so that they can be away from this stuff. And I don't know.
Well,
Maybe they will, maybe they won't.
What if? Because it takes a long time to turn a cargo carrier around. Or I should say an
Was it
aircraft
7
carrier.
miles? 7 miles
It
or something like
takes,
that? That's a
okay, so to
long
get
time.
that aircraft carrier to turn itself around. So you have a population, a global population, that's been under the spell of fiat by decree. And let's face it, no living person at this time has experienced the collapse. I mean,
Of a
full
currency like
collapse
that.
of a currency.
Not just a currency, but the world reserve currency.
Exactly. And so,
And that's what's coming. It's like Armageddon, guys, on a financial perspective. It really is.
right. Now, when you have something, though, much like the US debt clock, now this is just my hypothesis with everything I've been just reading and researching, is that they keep saying the kingdom of God is within you. All right. He that is within me is greater than he who is in the world. All right. So you'd have to really
That means
grasp
God lives in your heart.
but everything they've put in these decrees since they've started have been very mindful and purposeful so as not to harm bright humanity. Okay?
100%. Yeah. And I don't disagree with that at all. And I don't think, right, I don't think they're going to not. I'm not saying, I'm not like worried or freaked out about it or anything like that. I'm more kind of going, this is fantastic. This is the way to go. I have no problem with this. especially if it's built appropriately. I would love to look under the hood and see the code, open it up, make it open source for the rest of the world to actually look at it. Right? Bitcoin's open source. There's a reason why it works. People like things like XRP don't really work so well because it's all closed source, right? So there's other ones that are.
Right.
Certain pieces of Ethereum, that's supposed to be open source, but they're trying to centralize it now. Whatever.
So
if there's a bridge between the two, it makes sense.
But you're looking at where they have the 3 golds, which is, the Russian, the golden dollar, and the PQ. Okay.
Yep.
So they've been very mindful of that. And knowing that something was created as a means to get people out of, it's kind of like, hey guys, over here. And so everyone's kind of going over that way. And then there's also like people are asking about the Iraqi dinar. Okay.
Which is supposed to go 1-to-1, and then I think it's four times the dollar or whatever.
Because it's backed by gold. Once it gets there, it's supposed to be.
I was going to say,
supposed to be backed by gold.
Okay, but it's a fiat technically.
From what I had read, unless I am completely off base, what I was reading is that the dinar will eventually be backed by gold because they were going back to their gold standard pre-1970s.
See, I was not aware of that, and that makes me. I need to talk to you about this after the show about something with that.
So that's.
I think our friend tested something. I don't know if you did or not, but I would like to test the same thing.
Okay, so what if these things have been brought because you have a world reserve currency that the IMF was basically, telling people you will use this, and then if you don't, and there's all kinds of shenanigans with the IMF, and they talk about the IMF in some of these resolutions and decrees. So to get all of this fiat currency out of the global system, you would have to have multiple ways to do it. This is just my thinking. So they're attracting people to Bitcoin. They're attracting people to the dinar. They're attracting people
out of the reserve currency.
Yeah, with these other ones that could potentially, like the dinar, is being talked about. It's going to go back to its pre-1970s status,
which is gold backed.
And these other currencies that could possibly be doing that also. So it just, to me, stands to reason that there's all these avenues that is helping bright humanity, the global bright humanity, free itself from the by decree paper money system.
That could be how it's doing it, but they're wanting to. Whatever. I'm gonna get into the weeds about it, but I mean, there's the information, y'all. Go look it up yourselves. And I'm sitting here going, Well, there's a lot that can be done with blockchain. You don't necessarily need it to have a currency. There's a lot that can be done. I mean, I'm working on some stuff that I feel like would majorly benefit humanity, and there's not even a cryptocurrency attached to it, but it's going to be using blockchain. And I feel like. I mean,
but isn't that what that XAU is going to be?
It's supposed to be, yeah.
Because it's crypto.
I need to know. I need to know what that stuff is. How to get a hold of programming that into some of the things I'm going to try and do. Actually, how do I get a hold of these guys? We need to. I need it. That actually would be huge for what I'm about to build.
Oh, well then we'll talk about that when we're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then
we're not going to talk about what I'm about to build, though.
No. But there's that other document that was on the site that was just dropped.
This guy, as of what, like today or something? Or
no,
there's no
date on it. It was not there as of last week when I was on, because I was getting some stuff out or printing stuff off. So
it was on December 13th. So
that is interesting.
Have at it.
This is the World Sovereign Financial System Monetary One, which is the gold standard declaration, World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers expresses his respect to you, and we have the honor to declare the following. In fulfillment of the sacred mission to overcome the global financial crisis, prevent
Fulfillment.
fulfillment.
They overcame it. Okay, keep
Mhm.
going.
So they're going to fulfill it. All right. To overcome the global financial crisis, prevention of a third world nuclear war, elimination of the destructive, toxic. It looks like we have the same litany going on here. Standard treasures, yep, for serving light, humanity's development and prosperity according to the divine law of creation for the creation of a light creative world based on heavenly principles of the democracy, justice, love, and harmony for the creative, spiritual, and divine development of light humanity in universal love and harmony with all that is and all that is not in glory of the almighty lineage. Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah. In fulfillment of the sovereign legal acts of the absolute owner and chief regulator of the entire world financial system, the absolute owner and manager of all world assets in the entire world by the exclusive historical right from the creator of the new era, the sovereign international treasury, monetary one, and other norms of international financial law. The World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers, as the chief regulator of the entire world banking system and the general manager for the administration of all world banking assets, executed an emission and registration of the gold standard in the cryptocurrency segment, namely the right and valid, backed by the world's reserve security currency, the gold dollar. And they gave you the code for that, which is constantly and precisely secured by System Balance Bank Gold. They gave you the code in accordance with resolution number 1, number 28, and number 42. Gold cryptocurrency, crypto XAU, in parentheses, AXM, in the amount of 1 billion crypto XAU, in parentheses, XAM. In fulfillment of the sovereign decree of the chief regulator of the entire world financial system, the Sovereign International Treasury, Monetary One, number 42, it was dated December 13th, the World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers for all eternity fixed the rate of the gold cryptocurrency, crypto XAU, in parentheses, AXM, based on 1 crypto XAU equals 1 gold dollar equals 1 gram of balanced system gold, bank gold, with upgrade
So
rights.
one with upgrade rights.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Okay, we got
1
something.
gram.
1 gram of balanced system bank gold with upgrade rights. Quote, sovereign decree of the main regulator of the entire world financial system, Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One. This is number 42, dated 12/13/2023. Decree. We hereby confirm that the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One is the owner and manager of the world account in World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers, with the account number distributed in various banks in all countries all over the world. We hereby confirm that the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One is the owner and manager of the world account in World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers. Distributed in various, it's repeating again, it's just 2 different bank accounts. We remind you that the Sovereign
Same
International
litany.
Treasury Monetary One, yep, same litany. Wow.
We confirm.
Yep.
Same litany.
Same litany.
This, I think, is different here. This is different.
By God's grace, by right of the Supreme Sovereign, in fulfillment of the sacred mission to overcome the world financial crisis, prevent a third world nuclear war, eliminate the destructive, toxic, and dysfunctional debt, fiat financial system and in fulfillment of the creator of a bright world financial system based on heavenly principles and the gold standard, namely the sacred spiritual gold treasure Ra, which is the original gold of monetary one, for serving light humanity in its development and prosperity according to divine law of creation. So it looks like that's the same litany that we see throughout a lot of them, of light, humanity, and universal love and harmony with all that is and with all that is, I suppose probably all that is not, for the glory of the highest kind. By the right of the supreme sovereign, by the right of the absolute owner and chief regulator of the entire world financial system, by the right of the absolute owner and manager of all world assets in the entire world on the basis of the exclusive historical right from the creator of the new era, in pursuance of the right of the sovereign, the norms of international law in compliance with regulations number 23, 28, 42, 43, and all other legal subordinate sovereign international acts of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, I hereby order.
And it's a transaction.
To execute transaction. Oh, and they give you the execution code number. Oh my gosh, which is crypto XAU 13. Wow.
Yep.
To the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One to allocate the world reserve security currency gold dollar in the amount of 1 billion gold dollars. We have the gold
Equal
dollar
to 1,000
tons of gold in order to ensure the issuance of the gold cryptocurrency crypto XAU in parentheses AXM. Have you looked up AXM? We'll have to look at that after this.
Liquidity $26, $25. There's no liquidity there.
I wonder what that
Look
is.
it up. Well, I have other things to look up. I can ping.
Right, in the amount of 1 billion. So let me see here.
To allocate, okay, yeah.
So the World Sovereign Bank issues register the gold-backed crypto. Let's see, there we are. The allocated assets are credited to the special Galatory security account crypto XAU in parentheses AXM in the World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers with the right to replenish the account and increase the emission of the gold secured crypto currency crypto XAU. To the World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers, issue and register the gold-backed cryptocurrency crypto XAU in the amount of 1 billion crypto XAU. Forever fix the rate of gold cryptocurrency crypto XAU at the rate of 1 crypto XAU equals 1 gold dollar equals 1 gram of balance system bank gold.
So 1 gram. How valuable is gold about to actually be?
Crazy.
I mean, if this all, so you're getting kind of a picture here of the valuation, right? So 1 gold dollar, 1 gold crypto dollar is going to be 1 ounce, 1 gram, not even an ounce, 1 gram.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Keep going.
Proclaim, this is number 4, proclaim the gold crypto-backed currency crypto XAU as the standard of the gold standard system in the section of cryptocurrencies in the world financial system and throughout the world.
So it is going to be a crypto. It's going to be an asset-backed digital currency. It's exactly what I was. I don't know. Same thing I was saying. Yeah.
And we've talked about it in other shows.
Yep.
So it would stand to reason that they've got everybody kind of over and was like, well, what? And what if they're going to get enough going because they have to clear the way? There's shenanigans afoot.
There is. That's going to happen this year. There's going to be bad stuff that's going to happen, but there's going to be amazing stuff that happens.
It is going to be amazing. once this is, it's, yeah.
There's gonna be there's gonna a lot of nasty things happening. There has been. You haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. It's
No.
been happening everywhere.
Mhm. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow that we're going to start seeing some bridges being formed so that it helps everyone, because God does not want to harm his children.
No, of course not.
And so there's
No.
going to be a way for those to get on the ark, if you will,
Sure.
ARK Investments.
Probably not there.
Well, no, I'm just kind of like, I kept just kind of thinking, wait a minute, what is this with this whole thing with
She's
the
an
ARK?
interesting person. I'll say that much.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
I digress. I totally digress on that one. So, in execution of this decree, in all international and state counterterrorism legal law. Okay, so we got the same litany
Same
going
litany
on
here.
here. Mm-hmm.
All missions and pursuance, all this is the same.
Yep.
All this is the same litany. I guess you could start here.
Yeah, the Sovereign National Treasury Monetary One firmly confirms its statement and in the future to impartially and correctly fulfill its light mission to restore justice and build the all light, all heavenly system, which should and will faithfully serve the bright humanity and consequently all God, all creator, all creative family of the Supreme as the one all heavenly, all to God, all to the creator, all creative of all existing and all non-existent in the creation of all light, all great, all heavenly. And it lists this, and if you notice, there's no seals.
They're down here.
Oh, there they are. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, this is a different one.
Bank of the Order of the Hospitallers. That's actually it's actually sealed. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Knight Grand Chancellor. These guys aren't. Wow.
Okay. Now, and they talk about in some of the previous resolutions and decrees the fake and false hospitallers, the false Knights of Malta, the false. They donned those things to give themselves some sort of prestige when they truly are not them.
Right.
Now, the video, I started looking at these gentlemen that are doing this, and their hair is long, they've got the beards, and part of me is like, did they take the oath of the Nazarene? The Nazars, so they're Nazars?
They could have.
Is that something that they do?
They're like scraggly looking guys, I'll tell you that much.
But you don't, much like Samson, Moses, I think Abraham, you do not cut your hair, you do not, because you are donning the crown of God.
I think Samson was the only one that took the Nazarene oath.
Oh,
that was
okay.
Not a Nazarene. I don't know. I have to go look that up just to see from theological perspective. I haven't not even looked that up, so I can't speak to it too much. But I know that the only thing I know is that Samson was the only one that took the oath of the Nazarene, and the only reason he got taken down was because he allowed his hair to be cut off. Yep. So, anyways.
Yeah. So my hunch, as I watch different things, people are like, oh my gosh, the bond market. And it was like, yeah. Oh, the insurance companies. It was like, yeah.
They're all going to come down, guys.
It's all, but the thing is that, as I tell people, stop lighting your hair on fire.
Let it go. Let it burn. There's something else. There is, as you so eloquently put, an arc that I think that this is going to be there for us to jump onto, or I don't know. I mean, what was it? I saw a meme. I think you shared it or something like that, where we wouldn't be able to use ATMs, bank cards, or anything if it wasn't for SpaceX, if it wasn't for the satellite.
That was on Ingersoll Lockwood.
Yeah, and Now we have people who are turning off their cellular and everything on their phones, and they're able to still make phone calls because they're connected to the satellites. Yeah, I think that there's more going on than meets the eye with this stuff, and I actually wonder if certain people have been placed in certain positions to execute these plans, and these guys are doing the actual legal physical movement of the assets. And I wonder if we're about to see things, some switch is going to happen somewhere. I don't know how, I don't know what. Our 17th friend gave us a lot of clues, probably to throw our enemies off. We'll find out, I think, what's going to really happen. The fact that you and I found this, the fact that you had a document that pointed to this, I mean,
I've had that
I'm still
document for I
scratching
don't
my
know how
head.
many decades.
And it tied to this, though. I mean, I still just like it blows my mind that this is where it led to. I'm just kind of like, good grief. So now what's going to happen? Don't know. They keep putting stuff out there, and if y'all haven't looked into this, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can set up an account there. I haven't done it yet, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure
So
you can.
in my Woo group, I host a Thursday night Woo group that we all just kind of like bounce stuff off, or we get into health and whatnot. And so a few people actually opened up an account with the World Sovereign Bank Order of Hospitallers. Now, I was in the group, I lost my mind. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And they're like, take a breath. I was like, you all have no idea what this means.
Nope.
So our special friend, he did it
Mhm.
first. And then he thought something was wrong because he looked at his birth date and he's like, oh, maybe I did something wrong. Put in a number incorrectly. So he then opened up one for his wife. Same thing happened. Well, then there was another gal in our group. She opened one. Same thing. Did her husband? Same thing. What happened is their birth date that they put in, the World Sovereign Bank changed their birth date to the day before on their birth certificate. They're like, but that's not. I said, yes, it was. Because that day before is when you were a natural citizen.
Sovereign.
You were a sovereign,
citizen.
a natural sovereign. You were a natural sovereign. I'm sorry.
Before the birth canal, before the
Yeah. Brought into the dock. Blah blah blah.
Wow.
Whole story like David Strait will go into, and
Yeah.
Jordan actually goes back to Jordan Maxwell. How the mother
goes really into it. Yeah.
Yes, and it's the birth. You have the doctor, which is the dock tender, and the whole thing. And so you were a natural sovereign before you crowned. Okay. And as soon as you were born and your mother became the informant and put basically
Unbeknownst
to her, you were killed because you became now a fictitious entity.
Mm-hmm.
All right. A corporation, because a corporation like entity must do business with a like entity. So that was where all of this goes into. And Jordan Maxwell, y'all, I got every one of his DVDs. So I sit and I watch all that too.
So if I go in there and put this in, I mean, you're not going to be able to deposit fiat in there or use it like a traditional bank. You can.
Once you put your money in there, it's going to be gold. So this is why I'm thinking there's going to be multiple ways to get out of the fiat. They're going to be done with the fiat, because also all of this insurance and everything that they're saying is no more, so that we can restore bright humanity. So these boxes that are talked about in resolution number 4, the bonds, because my gosh, I mean, all of these.
Oh, no, the amount of money is unfathomable.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
it is I mean,
they
gave a number somewhere at one point was 700 zeros or something, or a number. It was a number.
Drill something. It was no tons, clue. Metric tons. Dodectra trillion
Whatever it
something,
is.
whatever it is.
It's a big ass number. I don't
Huge.
even know.
Yeah.
And I had studied at one point the dragon bonds, and that's listed in there. I
Yeah.
think.
So they've got, oh
And
my gosh.
that is two of those bonds, and the value of those that I remember, just two of those bonds, the dragon bonds, just two, could clear the entire global debt. Just two. That's insane.
Yeah, they have blue Zim boxes, red dragon boxes, red dragon 1000, red dragon 1 million, dragon 100 million, CH red dragon, black dragon, yellow dragon, double dragon, blue dragon, golden dragon, pink dragon, Hong Kong dragon, Macau dragon, imperial dragon
bonds. So the dragon family.
The
dragon family.
Yeah.
No one knows about that one. You'll go look that one up. That'll blow your mind. They're not bad people.
No.
And they have kept themselves off the face of the earth. No one really knows too much about them other than they exist. That's it. And they can be anywhere and everywhere. I'll put it that way. You would never know it's them because of how they do things. And they have no lack of anything. And they take care of their family. They take care of everyone around them. No one would even know. And now that's all being taken control of by these guys because it is their responsibility to do so. And everyone is relinquishing control of what they have because these guys have the birthright to do so. And it's very, very unique at what they're doing. We'll see very soon. I think something's going to flip. I feel it. I feel like the switch is going to flip and things are going to just not from a monetary perspective necessarily, but in every way. I know you keep trying to say something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. It's all right. Also, in resolution number 4, y'all, you have Iraqi dinars on the bonds boxes. Iraqi dinars, red. Iraqi dinars, master stock, helicopter stock. Iraqi dinars, green, and others. Okay, so you've got, then they go into countries here. The Kuwaiti dinar. Okay.
That one's what, $3, 3 to 1 right now for the US dollar.
So you've got, go to resolution number 4, y'all. You're going to start learning about a lot of this. Then you've got the golden scroll, golden trumpets, golden leaf, golden chrysanthemum. There is more golden tulip, purple to golden paradise. You've got, more. There's so much. You've got, this is I can't even begin.
Minds are going to be blown, y'all.
Completely.
I'm still mind blown here. Just like, wow, this is just like, okay. I don't know. I'm going to go set up one here and see what happens. I mean,
it's pretty cool. So I haven't had a chance to. So there's like 3 or 4 people in my Thursday night groups that have done it. And it's very fascinating. So.
Yeah. That's curious. I've also seen something about getting into credit unions, which I know people that are in there. Very interesting.
Well, it would make sense because if you just what we read in the last one is that they're encouraging for you to organize. Well, isn't that what a credit union is? It's a group of people coming together because you're all members. Okay, you're organizing in a way. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these states, which are corporations, the state in which you reside, okay, is a corporation. So it'll be interesting to see how these governments reorganize. Yes, Ingersoll. Now, but it's true.
He's dressed as a knight.
However,
he's dressed in a knight.
Yes, but if you look at that weapon,
it's broken.
That's not.
And it's ancient.
That's not your normal katana or your normal sword.
No, it looks almost like it's a Roman sword.
Right, so it's not.
Also broken. But he looks like he's in a Knights Templar outfit, maybe. which is very interesting. And time is running out, and you got a black swan.
And a white swan. But if you notice, they're facing each other, much like a yin and yang. It's kind of
And
like they're both
on
together.
this side, you've got poison things, this, whatever the crap that is down there. On this side, you've got justice and the white swan. I thought it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
So
that's here.
But if you now hover over the rabbit, and you got to notice the URL that's at the bottom. It's super tiny on your screen. It went away. And if you read it, it basically tells you that they're getting ready. And our special friend, I can read it because
it shows you right here. It shows you right here.
Where?
I can't blow this up.
No, okay, wait a minute. He did it. He gave it to us so I can look it up quick.
Disease X 117 2024. WHO Davos 331 2024. So 331 would technically be 331 is New Year's Eve. New Year's Day is April 1st. Interesting.
So, and they're trying in Minnesota. Oh my gosh, they've got medical physical. Oh my God, they got everybody just, getting kind of cuckoo lock us. Now there is a new white link on Ingersoll Lockwood, which is Matthew 18:6 or 6:18 at the top. So if you were to do our little magic trick right there, Matthew.
Right there, yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to look up that Bible verse.
Blink. So control or kind of, here we go. We'll go over here. What was it?
18:6.
Blink. Jesus warns of offenses, but whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were drowned in the depth of the sea. So in other words, all of humanity has been led astray in the financial systems, the medical systems, the education systems, the tech systems. Everything has been kept from us and led astray. And Jesus himself is talking about those people like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, people who have interacted with the Baals, the demonic forces that are here on earth. This is their prison. This is where they reside. He's talking about the people who decided to take it on themselves to trap everyone in their prisons. Farm animals, free-ranging, my butt free-ranging. It would have been better for them to have a millstone literally hung around their neck and thrown into the ocean. In other words, he will vindicate everybody. Get out of his way. Because in Romans chapter 12, I memorized this as a kid, but I'm going to read it for everyone. The very end, repay no evil for evil, have regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men, beloved. Do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. Yeah. Get out of his way. Let it happen. And I've had to do that. I've had to do that a few times with people. Just get out of the way and some people know, some people don't. Just leave it there. But at the end of the day, just getting out of his way, things have taken their course. And everything's fine.
Yeah, and there seems to be a lot of that. Oh, there's another hidden link in Ingersoll Lockwood that I found.
All right.
So you have to do the little blue, the highlighting thing.
Which guy? What? No.
You got to go down. And so it's going to be
Somehow I clicked on something.
Okay, so it's going to be up along the Space Force thing. You got to go up. So if you got to do the little highlighty thing because it's hidden.
These guys?
Nope. It's actually going to be a line. Nope. It's a line in front of along the first 3 dots. So I go and do the whole page, and you'll see the
I
line
did the whole page.
right there. That line. Nope, scroll down. It's going to be a line. So right, not those 3 dots. Go up a little bit. Oh, it's just being a. Did they change it that fast? Holy cow. I was just on there. It's a hidden.
It's also different when you're on a mobile too.
No, I was on my desktop. That is interesting. Yeah, because I just clicked and just did the whole. I didn't do like the little fancy buttons. I did the whole page, so I got like all the background and
Yeah,
not
this
just the
does
words. That is
Control
so
A, or
weird.
if you're on a Mac, Command A. It does
Yeah,
everything.
that's crazy. Let me see what I can get here. Because it took me to. Where are you? Come on. Because I was like, that is the weirdest place for a link. Let me see if I can get
This
mine.
got used. This got used in Iowa.
Oh, okay. So this one is the Colorado Supreme Court decision removing Trump from the thing. And so I have to find that. Go back again. So it's a really fine line. And it goes into, so the URL goes into Colorado Supreme Court decision removing Trump from 2020. Ingersoll Lockwood, basically, is already seen through the looking glass. See page 10 in Doc 9. Ingersoll Lockwood, 1717, 41020, tippy top, gopher launch, 11724.
So that's tomorrow.
Yeah, so there's something, and that's related to the Colorado document. So
what's also interesting is he won Iowa a little too easy.
yeah, because
that
this
just happened tonight. That was like, something feels fishy. That was too easy. I don't know.
So this whole thing is the Colorado Supreme Court decision removing Trump from 2024 ballot based on 14th Amendment's insurrectionist ban. And it's quite the legal document because it's 213 pages long.
Holy cow, that's a book.
And so the link for it is a very fine line in front of the Ingersoll Lockwood, in front of the Space Force chevron. There's the 3 dots, but there's a fine line that goes all the way up through the top behind those 3 dots, right in through. No, see if you can. It's not the 3 dots. Somehow it's not showing up on yours. Yeah, that is so weird. Yeah, it's taking you to the X thing.
Yeah, we actually just referenced this.
Right. And so
realizing no one would have access to the money without Space Force satellites.
So maybe because you're doing the command thing, because I just went up into the corner and just got the whole page turned blue.
Is this it?
Maybe. Hit that. Yeah. There it is.
That is it. Holy cow. How in the crap?
I know. It took me a little bit. And I was like, they're getting more and more refined. Are you going to take the time?
It's not there now. I mean, what did I?
It's
you can't turn the whole page. You can't turn the whole page blue. I can't.
I do with my MacBook.
Well, I'm using Brave. Command A would do that. Whoop, wrong button. What did I click? I did it again. Arg.
So yeah, that's that.
Like if I do that, it's not gonna matter. Command A will do the same thing.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't Command A. I just right clicked and boom.
It was like a
So it's in
dotted
there
line. I
again.
can see it there.
There it
Yeah,
is.
I saw
There it
it.
is. No, it's a really tiny fine line. There it is. It showed up again. Grab it.
How
There.
in the hell?
It's embedded. It's really tricky.
Well, I could do this too. I could have done. I don't know why I didn't do this.
Okay, what is it? What are you doing? Okay, y'all, we're
That
squirreling on you. Sorry.
I could have pulled the stupid thing up and found it. Where is the? Y'all might think I'm crazy, but like I know where is this? Put me. So it's in here. Oh wow, they've struck out all this stuff. There's that. There's that. There's that. There's that. Where are the stupid? Oh, console. This is where you run that script. Okay, here they are. Nope, that's not it either. Sources. I am gonna squirrel. I'm just looking specifically for. My brain is farting. I'm not remembering. Whatever. Anyhow, so the Colorado Supreme Court.
Yeah, so I mean, it's 213 pages. It's super interesting. I mean, so I would say, y'all, if you can find it, there's the original document PDF, and they've got, and it's kind of interesting when you look at like contributed by CNN Digital, source Colorado Supreme Court. So the whole document is very fascinating. So,
Interesting.
yes, it is very interesting. So,
The Colorado Code, the Supreme Court considers whether former Trump. No, they're gonna flip Biden onto in the 14th Amendment because of what he's actually done. That is gonna make things interesting. What does Trump say? What do we get the notice of boomerangs? And we got the. I think this is gonna end up being one of those.
be
We'll find
fascinating.
out. We'll find out.
So, between that and then, so I don't know, between our special friend and like people in the group, that with the U.S. debt clock, Ingersoll Lockwood, and International Treasury Monetary One, all of this appears to be kind of coalescing and just kind of coming together, because all of the US debt clock images, which our friend has archived for us on our little group, we've got some interesting things going on.
Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.
And you've
Looks like
got
they're
he and you in gold, which goes to International Treasury Monetary One.
1492. This is Columbus.
Is it though? What
Maybe.
else? Right? So I'm kind of like, And then you got the Latin there, which I haven't had a chance to look it up. Salvation, Salvatoris, service,
Let me see if I can pull it up over here. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Come back. There it is. Translate. Let's see. Columbus signature. Oh, this pulls up gematria. Okay.
Okay, we didn't want gematria, we wanted Latin.
Well, it has Hebrew, English, and simple. Is it Latin or is it gematria?
No, it's Latin.
Oh, I don't know.
Salvoris.
That's interesting. I don't know. I don't speak it. Calculate gematria. Interesting. Whatever. Okay, we're not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
come back
so
over
it's still,
here
it
and
says
see if I
value in
can.
gematria. It was just like, no, we just want the English translation of the Latin.
Cerbus, some. Oh, Sal. No, that's a B. Batorius. Let's see. I forgot this was here. Blink. Translate. I am a serb of the highest savior. I'm a servant of the highest savior.
Okay, that's what I thought. Something along that line. Salvation Savior. I am a servant of the.
Highest savior.
Now, then we go back to International Treasury Monetary 1.
Yep, and it's all in their stuff.
Mm-hmm. So it's like something is trying to tie all this together, and that's
the interesting thing, because like, how did we come across this, and why isn't it being like any? There's no big accounts that have picked this up like at all,
we talked about that in
which
our
is
Woo
interesting.
group, and our special friend was like, because the truth isn't sexy. We're giving it right
No,
here. It's right here. There is no shock and awe. There is no, oh, hey, look, there's nothing to, I call it
there's nothing
mainlining
polished about it.
right. There's no mainlining your drug of choice of fear, anxiety. We're like, hey, y'all, it's right here. You get to go
Here's
open
the
a bank
information.
account. Here you go. Done. Just all we want you to do is read.
Know what you're doing before you do it.
Right.
You know, not no advice here. Do what's in your heart,
And
etc., etc.
you're right. This isn't some polished, like, hey, and we're all just like, woo, we're going to be boom, boom, boom. It's like, no, we're squirreling off. We're showing you everything. And there you go. And yeah, you get to put up with us going down some rabbit holes, and we're showing you, but it's empowering you because the kingdom of God lies within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you.
Yep, and then especially if you accept the gift of salvation, it's very, very, very big deal there. So I am, yeah. I'm
So,
just looking around here. I haven't looked at the debt clock in a little bit. Things are a little bit different from last time I looked at it. Sorry.
well, no,
Squirrel.
because our friend actually, he's been really good about posting all the different deck clocks. Like the last one had the EXO, so it had Einstein, where it was. Let me see if I can look at it here. Is there
I might
any
can pull it up if you
mathematical?
put it in here.
Yeah, if you could, because is there any mathematical solution to the debt crisis? Okay, because it has debt scam and the science. It was like, oh, trust the science. It was like there is no science; it's a scam. And so they have Einstein with the science, right? But what's interesting is the E equals infinite energy squared. It's plasma. It's plasmonic. Plasmonics. That's my take on it. I'm not saying anything, like, oh, this is absolute.
Oh,
And
that's
then
a Tesla symbol.
is that I can't quite see it because it's on my phone. And he goes, the system was
No, I've got it
designed.
up on the screen right now.
Oh, do you? Okay. So the system was designed to fail as an impossible to solve Penrose triangle pyramid scheme.
It's
So,
Tesla's triangle.
oh,
There's Tesla's
I
T.
couldn't see that in there from before. Okay. So, but if you notice, our little guy right there, he's got his third eye. He's like
awake.
he's awake. He's awakened to gold. Now I have a book from 1917, and we'll use that on our next one because we're getting close on time.
Yep, we got to be
That
careful with
talks
that.
about a lot of this, and we talked about it in our Thursday night group, and people were like, "Oh my gosh." So this goes to this, which goes into another book that I have, which then really tied into the human interaction of emergent technologies, where they're kind of just starting to play with things because
Yep. And I think that this stuff is going to go into effect and people are going to be made aware of it prior to it happening. And it's not going to be good. Now, there will be technology that will heal your bodies to back to where they are supposed to be, to where they need to be. If
Mhm.
you're the age you are now, your body should stay approximately looking like that until not too far from when you die, and you'll just deteriorate and go.
Mhm.
But it'll be a long time compared to what it is now.
So our bodies are able to regenerate if they're
Mhm.
given the right environment, but it's not like in the movies where like, oh, all of a sudden you're there because you cannot deal with that.
Yep, your body,
It
you'll
will
like
naturally
problems,
do it.
other problems.
Yeah, right. It will do things as you allow for the environment within you. Okay. It's not about the outside, it's within to create those circumstances for that to happen.
And we will see that happen, I think, in the not too far future. So
Mm,
we can go ahead and cut it there.
yeah.
And mainly because I'm going to have to be careful with the time.
Mhm.
So y'all have an amazing, wonderful rest of the week. We will catch up with you all next week. And I will be right back with you, Sharon. And we'll take it easy. See you
All right.
later.
Thank you.